What's going on, traders? This is Mike with Tactical Traders, and today is day 3 of the small account challenge, and it is September the 23rd, 2020. So I did a video yesterday on the follow-up, and we ended the day yesterday with two open trades, and one was being Walmart calls, and the other being BYND puts. And as you can see right up here, we have the here we go. We have the. I'm gonna actually pull this out a little bit. See, we're in the 2 minutes. All right, so we bought some puts right up here at around the. I think when I bought them, it was like 160, 161, something like that. And then we had a nice drop towards the end of the day. And I did not cash out because I did buy them that day, and because this is a small account, I am under PDT rule, the pattern day trader rule. So we start off today with basically around the 153, 154 area. We dropped down to a new low intraday around the 152 area, and then there was a bounce, and it did climb up. So this is a very annoying bounce, but it is definitely something to look at. So when you're trading contracts, options, there's that time decay, so that can definitely lower the value of your contracts. But this is just something I wanted to point out for any traders that are looking at this. So there's one really important thing. After this bounce off the low 152, look how much the volume has tapered off. This has been climbing on basically nothing, barely any volume. This move has been happening. And it's been going up right up almost to that high of earlier. So in my mind, this is called a bull trap. This is a classic bull trap in my mind. Basically, it's a bounce. There's not much volume in it. There's a small, thin amount of trades being traded up, up. Sometimes, you could say it's algorithm. I'm not really going to try to pretend like I know exactly what's going on and who's trading what. But a lot of times it'll be like algorithm slowly building it up. And then you're going to see a spike in volume, and you're going to see the price fall back down pretty sharply. So that's for me a classic bull trap pattern. Nothing is confirmed. That's just what I view this as. So I could be wrong. I could be right. We really don't know until it happens. But that's what I think. However, also with this low volume climb, it also gives us an opportunity to add puts or add short if you're just shorting shares when you get up to these previous highs intraday. I'm actually not adding because I am up on my put still. Actually just had it up right here. So the Walmart we did take profits on, and I think it wasn't as much as we had closed it. I think it was a $35 gain, so nothing much. But like I said, we're working with small capital here. So we took that out because the market, as you can see, I'm just gonna go back again. The market was pretty choppy over here. It fell right down. This is actually, in my eyes, now forming like almost a little. Actually, it's a very large flag. I wouldn't even call it a flag anymore. But anyways, it was dropping down. So Walmart. Let's see where Walmart's at right now. Walmart. All right. So Walmart's been holding support 138. We had that draw up from earlier. But either way, I just wanted to lock in some profits because, again, I'm using a small capital, and you really can't take losses or too many losses with small capital. So it's just, about surviving, about locking in those profits. But anyways, we locked in that, and then we're sitting around a $50 profit on the BYND. Sorry, guys, I had to pause the video real quick. We had a bunch of minions walking past. Anyways, so yeah, so we just want to lock that in, and as you can see right now, it might be breaking that support, pretty soon. You see the SPY really showing some weakness here. Just really not feeling that. So, anyways, just want to lock in those profits. It freed up some capital also. So even though it's only, free capital right now up here, the $290.61 because the rest of our capital's tied up in this trade. I wanted it freed up just in case it did pop up there, and I decided to add some more puts, either on the same contracts that I already have, or maybe on some farther out, cheaper contracts. But right now, I'm just going to be sitting. I kind of just want to see a better setup. But right now, I am expecting this to be a bull trap. So we're going to check back a little bit later, and of course, follow up at the end of the day and let you know what happened. Hey, what's going on, traders? All right, so I unpaused the video. Just want to follow up with you. So a good amount of time has just passed, probably like half an hour, 45 minutes. But anyways, so I just want to go over what I was mentioning earlier with BYND. I think I had it on the 2 minute. So yeah, that very low excuse me, that very low rise right here in volume. Like look at all this volume on the downside, and then when it rises, it's like nothing. Yeah, we had that one spurt, cool, but for the most part, it was nothing. Went sideways because there was no momentum to keep the move going. That is why I say volume and price action is key. All right, patterns are awesome. I trade patterns. I trade actually only a few patterns. I do offer that information, in their chat room, but patterns are useless without the volume there. You need volume to really cement that. So yeah, it had this nice little move up, and for contracts, it's very frustrating. But as you can see, from 150, almost 156, let's say, it went straight down. It's dropping almost, $2.50 now. Not straight down, I shouldn't say, but I think this will continue down to the 140s in the next week or so. So volume is key. And I zoomed out a little bit on this, so now you can kind of see on the beginning of the day on this drop how much volume it was there compared to this rise of, like, you can barely see it on the chart. So just definitely something to keep an eye on. It's going to be very needed. Volume is key. So I'm keep on riding this down. It's hopefully going to be a nice profitable trade. This is in the small account challenge. We can't take too many trades because we have a limited day trade thing. But right now on that contract, we're up about $120. And again, this is all starting off with a $500 account. I would love this to be a big winner. I'm not trying not to get greedy, but I would love it for it to be a large winner and really get us past that $1,000 mark. And after that, hopefully, we'll be over 2,000 shortly. And then once we get over 2,000, I'm going to reach out to our viewers and subscribers and see what people are going to want, if they want me to stay on a cash account or maybe transfer over to a margin account. I'm still up in the air about personally, but, I want to see what the majority would think. And then when I say the majority, I don't mean to insult anyone by this, but I'm saying the majority as beginners. I want to see their train of thought. I'm really trying to get into a beginner's shoes. It's been probably 7 years. I've traded for about 7 years now. So don't get me wrong. I remember what it's like to be a beginner, but some of the thought process has been so ingrained in me of how to trade professionally that I almost forget it. So we'll see what happens. And as you can see, BYD back into the 152s. The low of the day was 152 where it bounced. So all this move, all this stuff that everybody, all the inexperienced bulls were like, yeah, we're going up there. You could have made money in that bounce, absolutely. But if you were trying to do a swing trade or option trade and you got greedy and you were like, oh, well, this might be a bull flag right here. No, it's not. It's not at all. And you get burned. And actually, guys, I just want to show you. Look at the little bits of volume now coming up on the sell side again. All this volume on the sell side. All this volume on the sell side. On the buying side, nothing. Volume is key, guys. I'm going to pause the video again and follow up with you. Hey, traders, it hasn't been too long since I paused the video. I just wanted to follow up again because, let me pull up this chart a little bit more. All right. So, like we went over, it's a bull trap. Easy. We all figured that out. Anyone that was saying, and I'm going to draw this up. Anyone that was saying, you know what, this is a bull pole. And this is a bull flag right here, and this was the pattern. You know what? I wouldn't necessarily argue with you saying that no, this is not a bull pole and flag, but in the overall context of it, I don't have the SMAs on this chart, but in overall context, we went from 162 yesterday, and it was like pretty much straight down. Yeah, there was a little peak here, but again, pretty much lower highs. You could definitely look at this and say that. But overall, what a bull flag is, in my eyes, take this away, all right? Let's take away that bull pole. Now we got a triangle. We have an ascending triangle. Now, what is a triangle pattern? A triangle pattern is a continuation pattern. What is it continuing? The overall trend within that time frame. The overall trend in this time frame is bearish because of the lower highs. So this is going to continue to the downside. That's how I view it. Also, again, like I said, no volume on this move. That's huge. I know I keep saying that, I keep preaching it, but it's just nuts how many people still don't understand that. And I gave it all the way up down to the day's low. So, you know, what's going to happen right here? All right. So this was support in the past. I'm going to draw it up. So has been the intraday support. Yes, it did break a little bit below right there, but I'm going to go with this line because it has more data points. So one, two, three, four, five data points right there. All right. So we're going to be looking at that. Um, and looks like we're going to go down to new lows. Um, so this is going to be what a lot of people are watching. 152 really breaks and gets some momentum, meaning increase in volume. We can see this get pretty nasty. There's going to be a lot of stop losses right here. Anyone who bought this bounce right here, most likely, if they're an intelligent trader or semi-intelligent trader, they're going to have a stop loss below that low. So if they didn't take profits up here and they got caught in this, like this is a pretty bad downtrend right here. Like look at this. There was no real pops or anything. This is just right off the edge. So they might get trapped in it. A lot of people just get really ignorant and stubborn and not willing to take a loss. And well, all right, we're starting to go. And they're willing to hold, but they'll hold until it just hurts so bad that they're gonna let it go. And see how we can see the volume starting to creep in here. Now this is a 2-minute candle, so it's I don't know how young this candle is, but it's something to look at. And I actually just have to alert this in the chat room, so I'm going to pause the video again. All right, sorry about that, traders. All right, so yeah, so we are at new lows now. On my contracts right now, I'm up 51%. And, I entered this in yesterday, so over 51% starting now on return in basically 24 hours. Is pretty great for me. I'm pretty happy with it. But try not to be greedy here, but with these new lows coming in, I'm really gonna be watching this area. I wanted to break down a little bit more with some more volume. I could totally lock in some gains right here, and I'd be happy with it. That'd be a great trade. Um, but being that much up right now, I'm willing to give it a little wiggle room to drop more. If I see another bounce come into this, yeah, I might just take profits and reposition. But that's hasn't happened yet, so we're gonna see. But again, even though this is not, I just want to point out this little volume right here. So I'm gonna line it up. That one candle right there that broke the lows, all the past except for the other lows had nothing, had no volume, didn't even have that, and I just keep preaching it. Watch volume, like look, boom, here we go. This is the move. This is what I was talking about. That was stop losses being hit, guys. That was stop losses. This is more stop losses being hit. We're really gonna get some momentum now. All right. So just want to keep preaching this, And I told you I think 140 is in the next week or so. But it blows my mind when I see traders come into this and really think something's gonna happen. But it's how you learn, I guess. If you don't, and also traders, I just want to preach one more thing. If you were coming into the markets new, and you are not willing to find a mentor or find a community that's willing to really teach you because they charge something, you're being ignorant. Does a doctor not pay for school? Of course they do. All right. Does a mechanic go and get his certified through school? Of course he does. Would you hire, I'm sorry, would you go to a doctor, say for nothing lifetime? Let's say for a fucking nose job. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear. A nose job, and he has no experience, and he says, "Oh, I learned on my own. I taught myself." No, invest in yourself, guys. I know you might be like, "Oh, I gotta put down some money, and I'd rather just learn in the market myself." The market's gonna take your money. That's where I get my money from. I get my money from people that don't know what they're doing. Where does my money come from? My money comes from the market. Whose money's in the market that I'm taking? Beginners, inexperienced people. All right, this money doesn't just happen out of thin air. It's somebody else's money that I'm taking. So flatten your learning curve. It doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be our community. It can be anyone. But I'm just preaching to you. Find a good mentor. Someone that you can vibe with. Someone that has a very similar dynamic to yourself. Because different traders, different mentors will teach different styles. So that being said, I'm going to pause the video and we'll follow up this in the end. All right, traders, I am back. I actually pulled the chart up now on a little more detailed chart, and I try not to explain things on this chart just because, as you can see, there's kind of a lot going on. To me, I've been doing it so long I can see the matrix. It's just how it is. So right now I have the 5 minute chart pulled up, and we broke below the support. However, this teal bands right here, the top and the bottom one, they're highlighted now when I put my cursor over them. Those are called Bollinger Bands, and those are kind of indicated to me when price is starting to get overextended. For instance, at the open right here. So right now we're still sitting on them, but it would be very likely to see a bounce, and I don't mean like a crazy bounce. It could probably bounce up to 153. I wouldn't be that surprised. So when things start getting overextended, like, all right, so in this candle, actually, I should have just pointed out this one. It was down at 151.37. I think that was a low. Let me see. 151.38. Okay, so that was overextended out in here. Went up and about a dollar move up. So, that's something I'm kind of used to, and I can see it happening. But overall, it's not looking good for the bulls. So let's just see if this can pop over this. I'm just going to give it just a second. I don't want this video to run too long. But, I really wanted to hit some stop losses, some more stop losses, and really just buckle right down. Right now it's at noon, by the way, so it's lunch, so things really do slow down a lot. And thing about the low volume, when it gets slow, like you saw earlier in the day, it can slowly rise. It's super annoying, and that's why I'm watching it. That's why I might take my profits and reposition if it does pop. But we'll see how it plays out. I'm going to just drop it down to some tighter time frames. Let's go to the 2 minute. All right. Yeah, so as you can see here on the 2 minute, got oversold. It bounced up a little bit back outside of that. So Bollinger Bands open up a little bit more in this time frame. $15-minute. It's a little ugly that close. Move these drawings. Let's check out the level 2. Looks like it wants to go lower. Let's see what happens. It's trying to get a little movement. Go back down to the 2 minute. All right, traders. So this is a possible pattern. I'm just gonna say this to see if it happens. Um, I'm not saying this is happening. I just want to try to walk you through what I see. So I see that we have this nice move down, right there. Okay. And we have the support broken, which is likely to become resistance if you're familiar. Sorry if this is a little tough to follow. And now we have some lower highs forming kind of, we're going to actually go. All right, here we go. So this is a little bit clearer. That's why I like to stay on it. So we see that it's forming a little bear flag. And if you remember, if we take away this pole, we have a ascending triangle. What are triangles? Triangles are continuation patterns. So let's see if we can get a continuation to the downside. And I'm going to pause this because I need to alert this in our chat room. All right, traders, I am back. So as we draw up the bear flag, I'm just going to extend this out a little bit. I do manicure these lines as the trade goes on, especially if I do like the little trend, like the up trend lines. But for the most part, resistance are going to stay the same. And so my game plan was basically I said that this might be a little bear flag. I did alert to chat room. And for me, if it popped over this 152, like 25, we'll call it 115, 152.30, that would be saying that the bear flag wasn't, correct, and it, broke above that. However, this last candle did just make a new low intraday, so it looks like we should get another drop soon. We're gonna have to see. Again, the volume is something we have to keep an eye on. So that's basically where we are now. Looking at the daily on this, so I'll pull up the daily as well. This is a nice little short setup in my eyes. I'd prefer if the price can get below the low of this candle, which is 150.38, so we're about $1.50 away from that. Uh, it can get pretty bloody. We could see the mid 140s quickly. So I actually still might swing this. It's really tough with small capital. I constantly go back and forth myself on it. If I should just take my profits and move on. But I would just hate to wake up tomorrow and have this nice gap down. Because it's really right now, it's only noon, but it's setting up for that. So we'll have to see. But I'm going to pause the video again, and we'll see what happens. All right, traders, I am back, and I have closed out my position. It's still right now technically in the top of this flag. I just didn't like it. Very similar to early in the day when I said this slow creep up on. Let me back out of this so we can actually see. Oh, we're on the 1 minute too. All right, here we go. So earlier today, this thing, when I said this slow creep on the volume up, that could happen again here. I didn't feel like waiting anymore. I might reposition. I'm gonna see how it goes. But I'm happy. We took like it ended up not being over 50%. It ended up being I think a 48% return because it's a slight little pop up. But I was sick of watching the paint dry basically. I'm really gonna regret it if we do get that gap down or if this flag does break down. But it's just how it goes. Sometimes we're on that small account challenge, and when we're on that limited capital, you kind of got to trade scared, you know. But who knows? I was looking at like over 152.30, 152.25. I was going to take profits, but we're so close. I just wanted to go for it. So right now, as you can see up here, we are all positions are closed out, by the way. We're at $830.94. We started this off with $500, so roughly, I want to say we're up around 65% if my math is correct. It's kind of off the top of my head, but about 65% up on the account itself on day 3. So we're looking good. Oh my God, watch this go down right here. I'm gonna be so angry. This happens actually a lot. A lot of times you'll see the top of the channel tested, rejected hard, and then it just collapses. I can't even look at it. We'll reposition, but I'm going to pause the video for time's sake. And who knows, maybe we can see something at the end of the day. All right, traders, I am back. So I just want to update you. So as you can see right here, the price did pop out of that little flag. It is coming back down into it. It could still break down. I just wasn't really feeling it. And actually, I ended up closing out that, like I said, locked in my profits and transferred my profits over to some SPY calls. I'm looking for a bounce. I saw that I had another little resistance level right here at the 328.20 area. It broke past that, and it got also past the 50 SMA on the 2-minute. So buying some calls, hopefully for a bounce into the end of the week. And right now, I believe we're up a small percentage, like 3% on those, but we'll see how it unfolds.